From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thanks so much for joining us here for your Friday afternoon update. It's going to be much cooler today and tomorrow. You know, we officially transitioned from summer to spring at 7:42 this evening, known as the summer solstice. So the first full day of summer will be on Saturday, but it's not going to feel like summer at all. But it will eventually by next week. We're, with this cooler air, seeing the potential for showers and thunderstorms both today and even tomorrow, especially in the higher elevations, but even the coast seeing some activity, dry in the valley. As mentioned, summer solstice today at 7:42 this evening, but the summer heat is eventually going to settle in, and that will be next week, but not too excessively hot, which you'll see here in just a bit. So here's your neighborhood forecast at a quick glance here for today. The North Coast, a chance for showers, don't count on much. Siskiyou County, isolated showers, maybe some thunderstorms, and I think better chances for thunderstorms in Modoc County. But the Eastern Mountains dry today, as well as Trinity County, and of course the valley as well with those cooler temperatures. Heading out to the Shasta District Fair here today. Should be beautiful for Cattleman's Day from noon to 11 p.m. You see only reaching somewhere in the upper 70s to low 80s by the time you are out there at the fair. And then of course going to the evening, you actually may need a light coat. Believe it or not. And once that sun sets, just depending on, you know, if you can handle that cooler air. All right, let's take a look at your fire weather forecast. First of all, this is from National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, putting out a fire outlook for today. That's where we have the red flag warning on the eastern mountains. Now, check this out. Fire weather outlook for tomorrow does include the valley. Which will most likely be that red flag warning phase here for your Saturday, and even going into Sunday morning for the valley due to dry conditions and due to the windy conditions, despite the fact that it will be much cooler out there. You can't let those cooler temperatures fool you. As long as it's windy, which we're expecting to see here, right? So for today, it's windy. Still low 80s for low highs, but it's going to be dry and windy today. So that's why we've got the elevated fire weather risk. That's the case again for your Saturday, although the winds maybe not as strong tomorrow as they were today, but they'll still be strong nonetheless. The good news is we do expect significantly weaker, calmer winds by the time we go into Sunday. Wind advisory for last in eastern Plumas County until tonight. There's the relative humidity. So again, we're talking about the gusty winds on top of the fact that we're in the teens and low 20s. Okay, now we take you into Saturday morning. We get a little bit of recovery with higher humidity, but look how dry it is on Saturday. You're in the teens for the valley. Still in the teens for many of the eastern mountains, especially Lassen County. A little bit of recovery Sunday morning. Now, again, the wind's not that strong, so that's why we don't have the red flag warning, at least for Sunday afternoon. It'll just be through Sunday morning. But as the winds die down, that's going to really decrease our fire weather risk, but it's still going to be quite dry out there. By the way, you can always get the latest on any fires that do develop in fire weather. You're going to weathernorcal.com and clicking on the fire danger section. All right, so the area of low pressure to our north and west is responsible for the winds, responsible for the cooler temperature, and this, yes, showers and possible thunderstorms. Now, most of them today will be north of the valley, Siskiyou, Modoc County, maybe northern Trinity, and I think just a chance for a few showers for parts of northern Humboldt and Delnor counties. Now, you can see as we go into tonight, still some activity for many of those same areas. It dries out for Saturday morning, but by Saturday midday, we begin to see the next round begin to move in. Now, I think the model may be a little aggressive on how far south it goes, but you can see same areas tomorrow. Showers, possible thunderstorms for Siskiyou, even Modoc County. Some of those may make their way into the mountains of Shasta County, into parts of Trinity County, and maybe even Lassen County. But I think a lot of this activity will fizzle out before it does hit many of these areas. But we will have to watch, say, Lassen County, for example. There could be some showers there, and not to mention Modoc County. That's Saturday evening at 5 p.m. And then by the time we get into Sunday night, Saturday night into Sunday, there you go. We're going to be looking at mainly dry conditions. However, Futurecast does want to pick up on maybe a little bit of convection out towards Plumas and Lassen counties, but that would just be in the form of puffy cumulus clouds in the afternoon and maybe a stray sprinkle or light shower. Spring is holding on today and tomorrow, that cooler air to our north, but that heat, that bubble of heat off to our west, it's staying put, folks, but the warmer air is moving in. But the reason that heat's not really building in is because this cooler air riding to our north that you see there. As long as that does that, we're going to really suppress the heat. It's going to get hot. We're talking upper 90s, about 100 degrees by next week, but at least we're not going to be 105, 110. And gets even warmer, looks like maybe by that next weekend as well. All right, so let's go and take a look at our forecast for today. Temperatures around 80 in the valley, 60s, 70s in the mountains. Of course, we're talking about the chance for thunderstorms, especially in Modoc County, maybe even Siskiyou County. Tonight, cooling off in the low to mid 50s in the valley. And for the mountains, in the 30s, some 40s out there. And for the coast, temperatures in the 40s. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast for the valley. Temperatures in the low 80s for today, tomorrow. But we're back in the upper 80s by Sunday, 90s, and eventually maybe even some triple digits, especially near the end of next week. For the coast, chance for showers today. Better chances on Saturday. Same story for the inland areas. When I say inland, mainly northern Humboldt County and Del Norte, not necessarily to the south of Humboldt County or southern Humboldt County. Trinity County, I think maybe a chance for showers on Saturday as well, as we saw in Futurecast. That's the case also for Siskiyou, Modoc County. Mainly dry for Susanville and Laston County, but as we saw in Futurecast, maybe some isolated activity on Saturday as well. And then on Sunday, it dries out and it's beginning to warm up as we go through next week. All right, that's a look at your afternoon update. I'll be back again at 6 o'clock this evening for your latest forecast. Have a great afternoon.
PSA 2 HICAP and Senior Medicare Patrol are teaming up to help you fight fraud. Join us for a free community shred event on Friday, June 28th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Hartnell Avenue in Reading. Drive through and bring up to one banker's box of old bills, Medicare statements, or sensitive documents, and we'll shred them on site. Scammers use your old mail to steal your identity and money. Shredding is quick and could save you hours of stress. Protect yourself. Shred it with HICAP on June 28th, 9 to 1 p.m.